Hello, this is Simon at Lawrence's Auctioneers. At Lawrence's, we deal with a huge amount of glassware in our sales, both in our online continuous sales and in our fine art sales. I brought a few examples along today of items that we sell quite regularly in our auctions. We have something from the 18th century, something from the 19th century, and then something very definitely from the 20th century. So we start with this one on my left. This is an 18th century glass Tazza or dish that would have sat on a dining table and would have been used for displaying food. This is hand blown, so they would have blown this by hand, pulled the sides up, and if you look onto the base, you can see where the glass has been broken off at the base when it was made. So that dates to probably sort of the mid 18th century, and they made them in a variety of shapes and styles. This is actually quite a large example, but they go down to quite small examples, but they are quite collectible with glass collectors. So that's an 18th century piece. And then we move on to something from the 19th century. During the 19th century, the bottle factories became incredibly popular and busy. And at the end of the day, they would often have pieces of glass left over. So these are known as glass dumps. So they are effectively paperweights, but they are dumps of glass that they had at the end of the day that they wanted to use for some purpose rather than going to waste. This is a fairly typical example, which has got a floral design, flower design inside, very cleverly made. And again, you can see on the base where it has been snapped off and broken off when it's been hand blown. And that probably dates to the second half of the 19th century. And people do collect them. If you get unusual ones, sometimes you get things like crowns or other motifs inside. They can be very collectible, but flowers is probably the most common ones that we see. So that's 18th century, 19th century, and then something which is very 20th century and very recognizable. This is a piece of Whitefriars glass from the 1960s. During the 1960s, Geoffrey Baxter designed a whole range of glass for the Whitefriars factory. And this is known as a textured bark vase. And this colour in particular is a ruby red, but they produced a whole range of colours, which some of you may be familiar with, oranges and blues and greens, all sorts of different colours. But this one would have been made in a mould. So these have been hand blown, but this one would have been made in a mould and then finished afterwards. So on the base of this one, just to finish it off, they've given it a nice polished pontil on the base just to sort of clean it up and make it look presentable at the end. They are quite commonly faked. So it is always buyer beware with Whitefriars. And once you've handled Whitefriars for a number of years, you get familiar with genuine examples or fake examples that we see from time to time. So these are a sample of the things that we sell at Lawrence's. And if you have glassware at home that you'd like us to look at some point, please get in touch. We'd be happy to help.